Phnom, Thailand. That was Memorial Day. Each squadron had a flight to honor the flag and the event. Standing there, I made myself a promise that I would never again attend a memorial service. Of course, I broke that promise a whole bunch. It was a very painful time. 13 days earlier, 18 of my buddies had died when a helicopter they were in was shot down. They were part of the Maguez recovery mission. A few days later, we stood in formation as their coffins in boxes were loaded onto a C-130. Our pain and our grief of that loss was still with me and others on Memorial Day. But since that memorial service, I have attended hundreds of veterans' funerals and memorials and Memorial Day services. I didn't keep that promise to myself because duty and commitment to fellow veterans, GIs, and their families is stronger than any promise that I made to myself in a painful, grief-stricken time. Memorial Day, Veterans Day, 4th of July, they honor our heroes, all who paid a price. They made America great, and America is still great today. Thank God for freedom in the USA. But who were these heroes? Who are these heroes? Those of us who served in uniform will deny being a hero. Troy Bolin, wounded on Iwo Jima, denied until the day he died, which was only a few years ago, that he was a hero. He would tell you that the real heroes were buried on Iwo Jima. The soldier, sailors, and airmen who were injured in battle left behind wives, children, parents, siblings, neighbors, friends, who grieved at their loss. Are there any Blue Star or Gold Star parents here? If there is, please stand so I may salute you. Blue Star indicates that someone in your family was wounded. Gold Star indicates they gave the ultimate sacrifice. These parents are the real heroes because of what they had to bear up to. If you look at our honor guard, it is not all male. We have two ladies in it, both of which can beat me at arm wrestling. And women have served in our military since before the Declaration of Independence was signed. When I was on active duty and things got rough, I thought about the Revolutionary War and what they went through. When North Dakota was cold, I thought about Valley Forge and Morristown. When things got dry, when things got tough, I found something else to focus on that had already happened with Washington's army. That's the reason that I made it through, to be honest. If I'd been just thinking about myself, I'd have probably left. Women like Mad Ann Bailey, who the Indians called the crazy woman of the Kanawha. Her husband had been killed, and she got mad and tried to kill every Indian she could. hoping she'd get the ones that killed her husband. Women like Deborah Sampson, who served in the Continental Army disguised as a Private Robert Shutler for over a year and was granted a veteran's pension by the state of Massachusetts. Women like Nancy Hart of Georgia. Tories came to her house, held a gun on her, and ordered her to kill a turkey and fix it for them. Well, she did, and she also brought out a jug of liquor and sat on the table and let them have all they wanted. They stacked their guns in a corner by the door, and while they were drinking and eating, she passed most of the guns out to her daughter. When they saw what she was doing, she picked up one of the guns, cocked it, and said, "The next person that moves is going to get shot. You're going to kill them." And she did. There was another one who was a slow learner. He tried to move too. Another Muska took care of it. She held them until her husband and neighbors got there, and then she had them hung. I wouldn't have messed with her or any of her kinfolk. Heroes are the men and women in the honor guard we have here. These individuals deserve applause. They give up their time. They give up their energy to honor veterans and veterans' families. They do it without pay. They do it as a duty. They deserve all of our thanks. Let's give them another round of applause. From Bunker Hill to victory, they followed Washington over hills and valleys till the setting of the sun. At Valley Forge they suffered so. There were no easy days. Bloody footprints in the snow, and we're still free today. African Americans did their part. In the American Revolution, over 5,000 free men of color, as they were called then, and slaves served in the Continental Army and in the militias. One of these men was George Washington's servant, William Lee. Every time Washington rode toward danger, William Lee was beside him, trying to get between him and the gunfire. At the Battle of Brooklyn, Trenton, Princeton, Monmouth, Yorktown, William Lee was there trying to protect General George Washington. He may have had a big impact because George Washington, when he, in his will, freed all of his slaves. George Washington's willingness to submit to civilian authority, his patience, his wisdom deserve recognition. They deserve to be remembered. But let's make sure that we also remember the dedication and bravery of William Lee, his African servant. Thank you, George Washington, and thank you, William Lee. We owe it to future generations to pass patriotism on to our children and grandchildren. This used to be done without thinking, as a matter of course. When I was just a little boy, my grandpa told me every day, "You're a lucky little boy because you live in the USA. Our kinfolk fought to make it free and still do today. Be glad we're all living free in the USA." We learned in the first grade, each first grade classroom had a big picture of George Washington. Each second grade classroom had a big picture of Abraham Lincoln. And we learned that from Bunker Hill to victory, they followed Washington. Over hills and valleys till the setting of the sun. At Valley Forge they suffered so there were no easy days. Bloody footprints in the snow, and we're still free today. Still free because men and women of all races all backgrounds, all religion. Help us be free. God bless all of you, and God bless the USA. Okay, before the reading of the names, I would like to thank again the ROTC students. Like I said, they had a rough time this getting their stuff done because of this China virus. And thank you to the Boy Scouts who put up flags quicker than they could get wet. Thank you. Readers?